right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of On the Couch with Friends. This week we've got Power Trio out of Johannesburg, Burn the Mountain, and without further ado, let them introduce themselves.
Hi, we're Burn the Mountain, and you're not. In all seriousness, hi, I'm Thomas. I'm on guitar and vocals. Say hello.
Hi, I'm Cesare. I play the bass.
Hi, I'm Keith, and I am on the drums.
Guys, thank you so very much for joining us today. It's great having you in the studio. And look, first and foremost, you guys are a band that absolutely blew me away with your debut single, Runaway. That came out, when was it, 15 October last year?
Thereabouts.
It was October, I think.
It was October, November. I mean, for us, we'd actually started recording it this time last year. So I think we've mentioned before, it was something that came out of the lockdown.
Yeah.
Where I think we'd had a whole bunch of December shows that were cancelled, and we were all feeling very, very out of control. So this was a way for us to take back some of that, just to say, well, back at this, if we can't go play live, we'll see if we can record ourselves. So we produced it in my little music room. I think Ches tracked the bass parts, at his place. The final parts we went through to Figure of Eight to do the drums. So that's how that song actually began, was a lockdown thing, and then here we are a year later with group gatherings no longer restricted, adjusted level 1. You were sort of going, oh my God, there might be festivals again soon. What a concept. So we're, it's feeling like this is a close to what we started with that song in terms of releasing it and where the world is going, and sort of the new stuff we're working on now is then a bit less sort of, I want to run away. It's more focused on the here and now. So I think maybe it's worth telling you how we got together, perhaps, is a worthwhile thing, where the three of us have been playing sort of in the same scene as each other for a number of years, and had done a series of shows together. For example, Ches and myself played together with Gang of Instrumentals, and that's going back sort of more than 10 years if memory serves.
I'm sure we've done other stuff. It's all a blur. I'm sure we've done other stuff though.
Yeah.
Were you? GI. Where did we play together?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a blur.
Yeah, and Keith and myself play together in Mango Groove. We realized we did our first show together there almost 10 years to.
So I'm gonna interject right there. Apparently I didn't do my homework very well. You both played in Mango Groove.
Play.
Whoa! That's a whole nother topic we're gonna touch on. Thomas, tell us a little bit more about your involvement with Keith, and even throw Keith with the microphone if you want to.
Well, I mean,
Don't hurt him.
don't hurt him.
Okay.
There's a song in that.
Yeah. Vladislav, baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt Keith.
Don't hurt Keith! Don't hurt Keith!
No, we all.
He had a way.
Well, no, what? Oh, I love you. I know it's early on to say that, but fantastic.
Fantastic.
So all three of us came out of the session scene. So, I mean, and it's something that if you say, oh, I didn't do my homework, don't worry about that. It's something we don't put on a lot of our band bio stuff.
Right,
yet.
yeah.
We just say that, yes, we did these things, but, there's the good and the bad, I mean, we joke, one of our fun facts on our page is that I know the chords to Kaptein Spandy Sailor, and that's because I backed Kurt Darren once.
Oh, I thought you were going to go for the more alternative scene by you backed Straatligkinders when they did that cover of Kaptein Spandy Sailor.
That would have been.
That's cool.
I mean, in terms of the heavier stuff, I mean, and this is where we're a schizophrenic mess, because we like anything from on the heavier side of things, I'm loving Slaughter to Prevail and Mutoid Man at the moment.
Oh, nice.
But then we'll go to Frank Zappa, or we'll go to the variety of what we like and what informs us as a band is very, very mad and crazy. And somehow, when we get into a room together, it seems to work. But as far as the how did we sort of start playing together, Ches, I think was.
I remember accosting you at a festival.
Yeah.
I saw this guy playing. Who were you playing? You were playing with Loyiso.
Yeah,
somebody like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And I saw this guy, and then I got talking to him in the hospitality area, and I was like, "Hey man, hey, do you want to play?"
Hey, it's a
Yeah. I'll buy you a pizza. No,
Shut up lines for the win. Hospitality, eh?
yeah, Zappa. Yeah, I was a huge Zappa fan. But so then Thomas gave me a CD back then. He pressed the CD at home.
A laser disc, kids. Hello, fellow kids.
Yeah, from a bygone age. And then he gave me this disc, and I went home and listened to it, and I was like, it reminded me of, like, funnily enough, Perfect Circle.
Yeah.
That album with the yellow leech on it, or 13th Step.
13th Step, yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, yeah, man, let's stay in touch. And then we didn't.
We didn't.
No, but
It usually happens that way. Hey, yeah, man, we should have a braai and get together. And like 3 years later, hey, we should still have that braai.
Yeah. So then, but then later on, obviously, we did connect, and you guys were in Mango Groove. When were you playing with Tom?
I think I met Tom for the first time years ago. He was with Jesse at that time. Yeah, and years later, after that, we both did a Mango show. I can't remember when that was though. I think it was
10 years back.
Yeah, it was 10 years.
Wow.
10 years back. The Clegg thing was. Hold on, I now need to count. That was 2009, I think. 2009, 2010.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Then Ches, he's right. I think we met at a GI gig that I was dipping years ago, maybe like 10 years ago also. Yeah,
Okay.
that's how I met the guys. And like, we are hired guns, man. So
Hired guns.
so we tend to meet every now and then. Then about 5 years ago, Tom gave me a call. He was like, "Hey man, I think I've got some good songs, man.
Right.
Let's just jam." Yeah, and the rest is history. Here we are together. Yeah.
Here we are.
Thank you, Wembley.
Hello, Cleveland!
There's the other South African band called Goodnight Wembley, isn't there? If I'm not mistaken. And that's exactly how they got their name. Their name is to, like, what is the ultimate thing? We want to say Goodnight Wembley, and that's how they got the name. So yeah, funny, just off topic.
Yeah, I might have subconsciously stolen it from there.
But now, Thomas, please give the microphone back to Keith. I know you're the vocalist. You like holding those shaped things in your hands.
But no mind. Yeah.
Keith, give us a breakdown on your history, because you do the percussion, the drumming for Burn the Mountain, and Now That I Know Mango Groove also. Tell us more about your history in drumming.
Man, that is actually an interesting story, even for me. You know.
Yeah.
When I look back, I go, "Wow, man, the journey has been quite amazing." I've always been a muso. I can remember clearly my brother and I in a room when we were kids, man, and I'd be playing on boxes, you know, trying to. And I was playing keys, you know. I thought I was gonna be a pianist. Long story short, years later, I was at school. During break, the school band was practicing. Then just before I got on some guy. It's not some guy. Shout out to Leto. Actually,
How's it, Leto?
Yeah, he actually showed me a groove. Then about 6 months later, church.
Okay.
Then
The church.
take him to church. Church is where it all began for me. Then I started taking it seriously maybe 5 years into it.
Okay.
Got mentored. I studied, then got mentored by Neil Ettridge. Is a superb.
Hello, I don't know.
Hey, you should know him.
Oof.
Super drummer. And yeah, then about 5 years after that, I went pro. Yeah, got my first gig. I must give a big shout out to Andy Innes, because
Sorry, we
that.
feel like we should have a name drop.
Yeah,
Do it.
Like Andy.
That's a great idea for the next episode.
Yeah,
Remember to tune in.
yeah. You know what? Without him, he's a big part of this whole thing, because that's how I got my first gig and snowball effect. After
Okay.
that, yeah, that's how I got into drumming.
And at what age was this?
First time playing, age 13.
Nice.
I think first pro gig, 18.
Okay.
18, yeah.
Cheers. How's about you, man?
What? This is a glorious.
I think
Now keep
if,
it-
if
I'll
I look
keep it
if I look
short.
at the couch, right, and
heartache, intrigue, deception at every turn.
Sounds about
Sounds
right.
about
Sounds right.
you know, when I look at the couch, I really can't place your ages, because you got a little bit of the good old grey in the chin here.
I'm ancient.
No hair. You know, I mean, you look like you could be Thomas. Sorry, not you, Thomas. You look like you look like you could just be fresh out of varsity. And Keith, man,
God
dude,
bless you.
man, you're like
Yourself.
23-ish, maybe. You know, so it's difficult to gauge how old you guys are and where and how long you've been playing. So, Shays, how's about you, man?
This is a long story. I'll cut it short. I started in the late 80s. Yes.
Okay.
I started playing by accident, and I found a guitar in my uncle's cupboard, and I liked the low notes. I don't know why. And I just started noodling around, and the next thing I knew, I was in a band, which later became, that was my high school band, which later became Bataranyaka. I'm sure a lot of people will know that band. I was in and out of that band for many years, I did various things with them and recorded a bit with them and toured a bit, and we were good friends. We still are today. And then to get out of the army, because I was the last call-up, South African call-up.
There's a song name there.
Yes, there is, exactly.
Last caller.
So I was like, I don't want to, I don't subscribe to this, ideology and all of that. I'm like, I need to get out of this.
Right.
And I didn't do very well in high school because I was kind of, I was touring with my band actually.
Okay.
A lot of the time, playing gigs.
Yeah.
And I was not really interested in, but I had to do something. So I went and studied at the Tech, where I ended up playing with Neil Ettridge. He was actually teaching the Pretoria Tech, and so there were a lot of great musicians of that era teaching at the Tech. Among them was Johnny Free, the late Johnny Free, and Kevin Davidson, Mark Doobie, these people. So I studied essentially the Berkeley licensed jazz course.
Okay.
And then I got out into the world and I was like, oh, So I had to pay the bills. I started playing a lot of Afrikaans music with a lot of household names.
You got to do some cool tours with that though.
Yeah. The coolest one I did was I was playing in Jack Hammer's band, Pete Botha, and we opened for ZZ Top's leg of South African tour. So I
Where at
spent.
Sun City that was.
There were a couple of them. They were all that was a blur.
Blur.
Shangri-La itself.
Yeah, it was over the top. anyway, I was a young man, and it was okay. I recovered from that. But like, so there were a lot of that kind of stuff. But eventually, you know, like it runs its course, backing other people. You know, you get to a point where, and I had my own bands along the way as well, quite a few of them, and I sang in one of them, and I played guitar, and all kinds of things. But the gist of it is, it ran its course. It was like freelancing is something you do where your skills keep improving, but the people that are hiring you, the new ones, are always at the same level, you know. So you're always reaching, and in order, you know, one has to reach for new things, and I guess that's where we are today.
Actually, I like that.
You know, we're we're learning new things because we've always been in the background. We're always James the butler, you know. So here we are doing interviews where normally I would be like standing in the corner, you know.
Right. Okay.
Or, that kind of.
Don't talk to us. Talk to the famous person.
Yeah.
Don't give that microwave away yet.
Microwave.
So I'm going back to Badrei Nege now.
Yeah.
Right,
That was...
It's a great band, and I'm ashamed not knowing that you were actually part of it on and off. And it's great to hear that you and Paul are still friends and in contact.
Yes.
So that's another person that I want to get on the couch and
Good luck.
see, the thing is, I might have to take my whole studio to Deborah, one of my good friends, Deborah Dietz.
Yes, I know Deborah.
You know Deborah.
Yes.
So I might have to take all my stuff to Deborah's house and invite Paul over there.
Yeah, I think he's done one with Deborah.
Yes, he's done some
But
radio
Paul's
clips for me too.
reticent. I think he's sort of. I think he's.
I aspire to be reticent. You know, keep the mystery.
Yeah, he's a man of mystery. Yeah, but I met him in high school through friends at Wits, and we jumped on the tail end of the we jumped onto the Voelvrye bandwagon. We had a band called US Tonteldoos and die Dwarstrekkers. Good grief.
US Tonteldoos en die Dwarstrekkers.
Yeah,
Wow, mouthful.
Yeah. So I was like an Italian.
Also,
I was an Italian kid at an English school playing in an alternative Afrikaans band, and I was meeting all these people, you know, like Bernaldus Niemand, Piet Paris, all these cult figures in the scene, and we did shows with Manga Groove, with Johannes Katkorrel. You know, we were playing all these, and Mzwaki Mbuli, all these shows. It was amazing. It was a very fertile time, you know, and everyone had a common enemy at the time, you know.
Right.
It was like the injustice was clear, and so there was quite a unity in the scene, and it was very, very different. Everyone was different. You know, some of the bands were playing like Black Sabbath type inspired rock, and other bands were doing pop and folk and all of that.
Yeah.
But there was a sense of unity, you know, which was interesting, and that I don't sense that anymore. Anyway.
Well, in the scene as it is now, I mean, it's this is the other problem is we're trying to get back into building those sort of relationships, doing that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Because what happens when you're don't do that. You just, no, so you know, James the Butler, yeah. So. I'm dying. No,
Dead. D-E-D. Dead.
D-E-D. Dead. Yeah. So that's the thing. Is it came out of the session playing bit, and I think that's a really nice comment you said about the sort of taking it further, where a lot of this happened from being in a band in a room, developing the songs, taking the time to do it, and then with the live shows. It's been developing on its own too, where we had a show towards the end of last year where it was another one of those moments where you start feeling like the communication musically between the band started taking it more of an unconscious, following the whatever current is there on the day. I mean, you know, we take 5 songs and turn it into 45-minute, 50-minute set.
Yeah.
At this point, it's everything is extended, everything is growing, everything is changing. And that's, I think, one of the big things. Runaway, for example, is 3.5 minute radio single, it isn't live.
Okay.
It goes to different places, and I think that's also been one of the differentiating factors is when you're on a session gig, it's very much, you don't put your feet on the furniture, you don't change arrangements on the fly. I mean, I did that once.
So this is for the non-rock and roll gigs.
No, even those.
Because rock and roll is all about breaking those rules, man. Look on the table.
Depends which rock. Depends who you're working for.
Yeah. I think it's one thing if it's Francois van Coke and Die Gevaar. I mean that's a great flipping band. Who, if you said that would be a great gig to dep on, but then you've also got to play as well as Jed Casa and Richard Onrad, which is a different story. But I mean that's the thing, is that we get to do what we want to do, and it's also I think we could also safely do the sort of thing where you talked about the synth-based stuff, where we're able to...
I love it, by the way. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's part of what we need to do to be a three-piece that doesn't use backtracks. We refuse. It's one of the things that we will not adopt.
That's fantastic.
We're reluctant to do acoustic because it's also a matter of the sound that we want. I don't know. There's been this whole thing in recent years of the one-man acoustic with a loop pedal thing, which I know it's great for people where you can then create a very full sound from one person, but you're losing out on that musical communication.
Right. Yeah.
And you're also drawing from the same well the whole time. It's a closed loop. There's no new ideas that are coming in.
Yeah, you're not responding to. You're not interacting.
And that's sort of where these sort of things started, where it also became, well, we want to expand the sound and bring a bit of EDM in there. So we looked at what can we do in terms of the low end? And I mean, the drums, we're also working with a fusion drum setup where there's acoustic stuff and there's electronic pads on top of that. And it's to try, one day we'll just switch it to animal noises or something for the gig.
Fart sound.
But it's exactly, view concert for drummer and seal. That's actually a real thing, by the way. If you look it up, it's the great Vinnie Colaiuta, honk, doing a concert for fur, seal, and percussion.
I'm gonna check this out.
Haven't you seen that one?
No.
That's great.
Just say that again. Say that again for the camera over there.
So it's YouTube Frank Zappa, Vinnie Colaiuta. Concert for fur, seal, and percussion. It's from some gig in Germany, if memory serves.
I think I might have the record right over there. I will check. I'll check it out in a moment. I think I might have it there on the piano.
We like that. Okay, you.
So Paul Rickard introduced me to Frank Zappa.
Oh wow!
As he would,
man.
Yeah.
Poor Keith deals with like
He is like,
he's like, not a kid. It's the whole thing of the. Like, no, you just haven't found the right album yet.
I promise you like this one.
Oh, fantastic, man. Oh, man. So, now, guys, the first... Runaway's your only single out at the moment.
Yes.
All right. I have to commend you once again on it. It is fantastic. The first time that I heard it, thank you very much to Warren Gibson at Plug Music Agent.
Thank you, Warren. We love you, Warren.
Then I listened to this, and one of our commercial radio stations here in South Africa, 5FM, used to play alternative music also, but not so much anymore. I don't know, I haven't listened to 5FM in 5 to 7 years. Now, the thing that came to mind is, if 5 still played alternative music, you guys would have been a chart topper with Runaway. Absolutely. Wow. Absolutely. Because I think it crosses that divide between the alternative rock and bluesy kind of vibe into the more poppy I don't want to call it mainstream, but mainstream commercial music, and it brings
Hooray,
people.
we're commercial.
Okay,
No,
the
I
next
said-
single is gonna.
The next,
Okay, no.
the next single is also hopefully going to be commercial. We're willing to do anything for money.
Just not that.
I would do anything to eat.
And they said
That's
they don't do
underrated,
acoustic
eh?
sets.
Eating's
I
underrated.
sure would love this hot water.
Sorry, you were saying.
Tell us more about the next. You know what? Give Keith the remote there. The remote, the controller, not
The remote.
the microphone.
I have some 5FM and SABC stories I'd love to tell at some point. But that's
Yes.
Are they
I think you should tell him now.
Are they incriminating?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Keith,
Yeah.
do they always talk this much? No, not they. Thomas. Does Thomas always talk this much?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He has the
does.
Red Bull and then he talks a lot.
No, so does
I don't
so
think
does
Red
Jez.
Bulls talk a lot, eh?
Yeah, he doesn't need Red Bull. So he talks a lot. You should hear the Zoom, sessions, man. They do talk a lot, but
Keith's just like,
You happy there, just listening?
I'm cool.
That's good. You want to tell us something about the new single coming out and when it is due out? Is that on the table to discuss yet? Let me ask. Not yet.
Not at all. No,
Can you give us some kind of input on what the single will bring?
what the single will bring.
Other than music, obviously.
Well,
Duh.
it's
hopefully this music.
hopefully there's music.
Not just fart noises, but you can
but-
program that into music too.
Well, yeah. So what's happening with the new material? It's expanding more on the more raw side of the sound. So you mentioned Runaway. There's some degree of crossover going on. We're wanting to retain that, but I think at the moment, just because I think any sort of rock thing isn't necessarily supported by commercial stations. You do get the odd breakout song that seems to do, and guys that surreptitiously sneak in a electric guitar somewhere with distortion. I mean, we've at least heard more guitar coming back into recent commercial radio, but it's generally sort of cleaner stuff. Not sort of big, filthy. Sounds like someone's driving a dump truck into the bass.
It's not Cannibal Corpsey.
No. It's. Sorry. I'm about.
Smashed. Yeah, his face. He's got a brand new Corpsegrinder on his own. He's got a brand new Acid Vat. New single.
I've listened to it. I mean,
That's pretty good, man.
Well, I mean, this is. You're not going to believe this, but one of the sonic influences for what's going on for the new single, and it's still going to be a poppy melody, and it's still going to be that sort of thing. But I really liked what happened in the latest Napalm Death album, where it's really slower and heavier, and the subsequent material we're dealing with this one's a little more political. So the song's going for that sort of a more raw sound underneath it, and I think that's what you have to do to differentiate yourself sonically. Because I mean, if you talk about why did stations stop playing rock, I still think that part of it was it became very cookie-cutter. It became every band had the same guitar sound. Every band had the same sort of chord content. You could predict what was going to happen.
Absolutely, yeah.
Verse, bridge, chorus, double chorus, and out. Thank you. We're Nickelback. You're a good band. Listen, I'm not. It's
They are very bad.
However,
But, and I mean big but.
big butts. Yeah,
Don't lie.
You don't lie. But this is the problem: is that you started feeling like everything started sounding the same, and I think that's you can joke as much as you want about some of the pop scene being the same, but I think that there are acts there that there's a very clear delineation between the styles, and I think that that's what the only way we're going to be anything that people are interested in listening to is if we sound a little different.
yeah.
I think that's got to be it. And oddly enough, you mentioned the 5 rock thing. I mean, that's where I cut my teeth. We were one of the during the last couple of years where they did play rock. You know, I got to play on the TDK radio sessions, and that was a platform that then went out live. I think it was 2 million people listening
Wow.
at that point. Now, but you compare that to something that you can do with social media or with, I mean, you suddenly feel like the reach is just so much bigger, and there's a great opportunity for bands these days. I think, you know, yes, it's not monetized in the right way, but at the same time, there's stuff like what you do, where you literally have an international reach, which is incredible.
Yeah.
You know, whereas at that point it was, yes, a station like 5 or whoever was supporting it, but it was very much within our jurisdiction.
Yeah.
You know, no one was worrying about international rights or copyright or, you know, collecting your 0.0001 cent from Spotify for 1,000.
I'm
plays.
glad you bring up Spotify. It's 0.0002 cents. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, take that.
So I'm so happy, Thomas, that you brought up Spotify. People that know what I stand for know that I absolutely detest the concept. No, maybe not the concept, but the idea. Yeah, the concept of Spotify. Are you guys on Spotify with Runway?
We are, but rather please buy our stuff.
Yeah, look,
Exactly.
Ultimately, it would be great if we were in a position where we could sell hard copies. I mean, that would be the best for a small band to be able to sell hard copies to people. And you know, we mentioned Paul Rickert, Bataranyaka. I mean, I wasn't there in the heyday of the band. I was there right at the beginning and towards the end. But there was a time when, I mean, literally he was selling hard copies to his mates, going by, you know, taking CDs to the shops. And I mean, that kind of model, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
we're logging, you know, all the barcodes and stuff. And then like, I mean, I knew a lot of people at the end of the era of CD, like, you know, mates of mine, like Concord Nkabinda. I remember he left the Clegg band, and then he recorded his own album, and he produced the album that I was playing on at the time. And I was hanging out with him, and I checked, he had this book where he was like writing all his codes in, and he had piles of CDs, and he was taking to the shops and following up, and the money was coming to him, you know. And Batare Nyeka was the same kind of situation. And there were a lot of bands then, you know, you go and print CDs and sell them, but now it's like, it's a mystery.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
and somebody's getting rich.
it's not you.
Yes.
It's definitely not, it's not the musician.
No,
Look,
it's not me. I
I
promise
mean,
you.
and I'm quite vocal about it when it comes to Spotify. Yes, for people to switch on the Spotify radio or something like that is easy. You can get your band heard. But if you are just having it as a background kind of track or music that's playing, you're not really intensely going to listen to and experience that music. Whereas if you're going to buy something, then it's like, oh, I've spent some money on this, so let me use it. Like, everything we buy, we're not just going to let it lay down there.
Yeah, and it cheapens it because it's a dime a dozen. You're not really paying
Exactly.
60 Rand a month or whatever for it. And like people suddenly, you devalue. You're like, this is what you're worth.
It's
I can
shared
get all of music recorded here.
All of music.
I can get all of music
Exactly.
for 60 Rand a month. And it's like, you guys, like, suddenly you devalued. And so, I mean, I'm going to rant. So just take...
No, we can rant as long as you like. See, and also, I mean, one person gets rich out of Spotify. I'm not gonna harp on too much about it. For exposure, which doesn't pay. Exposure doesn't pay.
Exposure bucks.
You know, it's
Hooray, I can pay my rent with exposure bucks.
exposure bucks. I like that.
This
that's
is me biting my tongue.
Exposure, isn't that what people die of?
Yes, I believe so.
this is very true. But yeah, buy the freaking music. Don't be a freaking. I'm gonna swear. But yes, buy the music. Spotify is great to experience new music on the random. But Bandcamp, use Bandcamp. Most of the money.
Bandcamp has those days where all the
Bank-
fees,
yeah,
or
Bandcamp
most of
Friday.
the fees go straight to the artist.
Yeah, Bandcamp Fridays I think it's once a month, once every second month or so, and all the fees, like you said, rightfully, goes to the band.
Yeah, and that makes sense. That I mean, like, yeah, hello, this is the resource. People are dying, man. People are quitting music, and this is,
Especially now, it's been.
yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, it's a rough time. Let's not beat around the bush. But anyway, there's a lot of great opportunities. You know, like YouTube can make somebody now. You know, and just the fact, like for instance, the fact that your show is broadcast around the world, that wasn't something that was around when I started.
No, absolutely.
You know, but also by the same token, I had mates who were playing from like the 70s, older guys, my idols, and people who I learned from, because you can go onto YouTube and learn anything about your instrument. You go to a guitar shop and maybe they got like one video by the dude from level 42, you know, and then that's like, okay, well, that's how I'm going to learn bass. You know?
Right.
That's the video you have, you know. Now you have millions of those, right? Anyway, so things have changed now, and so the same on the other end of the spectrum where you have the 0.002.
Yeah. I think it's 3 zeros, isn't it? I'm not sure.
At Spotify, but at the same time, there are other situations where people, you know, like there's opportunities for you to be heard. It's through the right channels, obviously. Anyway, so it's not all doom and gloom, but it's, I mean, the fact that you brought up Spotify, I can tell you, all three of us are like, you know, what do you say? You know, what can you say? Anyway, I'm going to shut up now. Please
Thank
say
you.
something.
Say something positive.
He just did, didn't he? This is all the positive. Keith, back at you, man. Now, I can't believe that you actually listened to the latest Napalm Death album, Thomas.
I really do like it.
It is, so you enjoy the heavier side of music also. It's not just rock, bluesy. You do appreciate the heavier stuff. Right, yeah? I think so. But coming back to Keith, the question I want to ask is that, Keith, do you listen to heavier stuff? Do you listen to more classical stuff, jazzy, mostly gospel? Tell us a bit more about what your influences are for your drumming.
Jeez, man. There's so many influences.
Okay, let's stick to genres then.
No, can I stick to drummers?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Steve Gadd.
Perfect.
First, you spoke about videos when we were much younger. Yeah. That was my first drumming video, was by Steve Gadd.
Steve Gadd.
Yeah, man.
Dave Wecko.
Yeah.
Vinny. Then it's crazy because I listen to a lot of drummers. There's Steve Jordan, who is an amazing drummer. Right now we have Larnell, Lewis. We have Chris Dave, guys that I've listened to. So these are all different drummers, you know, not necessarily
different styles of drumming.
Different styles of drumming. I don't emulate these guys or maybe sound like these guys. Maybe I do subconsciously because of listening to them. But what happens is that I've listened to these guys for the longest of times, and they influence me to keep playing drums. You know what I mean? So there's also Carter Beaufort, man. There's so many
Carter
guys
Beaufort from Dave Matthews Band, yeah.
There's
And various others, obviously, also.
various others. Even here in SA, there are a lot of guys that I look at and I think, wow, man, these guys keep me playing. They sound so good. Yeah.
Neil Peart.
You sound
Amazing.
so good.
Shame, bless his soul, man.
Bless his soul, man. I used to actually have Neil Peart's post on my wall.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, as a youngster, like, what was it? Top 20? Is it Top 20 and Rock Magazine? In
Top
Metal
40.
Hammers, Top 40.
Top 40, yeah.
Like, also, just take those pages out, stick them on my
Stick them
walls.
on
It
the
was the
wall.
way to do it, man. It was
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
Gives
So
away
those
our
are
ages.
my influences, man.
Neil Peart, I didn't realize that.
Fantastic. Guys, about to wrap it up.
Cool.
Keith, with you. Final words, plugs. You want to mention anyone? Do you have any endorsements?
No, I don't.
Yet.
Yet.
There we go.
I don't have. I'm not plugging anyone. Just burn the mountain.
Burn the mountain.
Burn the mountain.
Great stuff. Cheers.
We have upcoming endorsements, but we don't want to. I don't want to jump the gun, so I'm going to pass the mic to the man who has the endorsements.
Oh, Lord.
Funny you should say that.
Buddy, you should say that. First line of the new song.
Really?
Yes.
Yes, I got something out of you guys.
So, first off, guys, thank you. We've been Burn the Mountain. Please download, buy, stream, watch anything that you can with our current single, Runaway. Like, every little bit helps us. Please, we'd love to see you guys at live shows. We can promise you an amazing performance. Hopefully. From my side, I would like to thank our management. Praise the loud. Praise the loud. Our label, Mongrel Records, and Warren Gibson and Plug, who have been doing wonderful things with us. I'd like to thank my endorsers, Marshall Music, who have been looking after me very nicely for the past decade. Love you guys. No, not creepy at all. No, sorry. But yeah, guys, it would be great to see you all out there. Chosen Francois, it was a pleasure to meet you, man.
I don't know any Francois here.
Only France the planet.
Yeah!
I've let you down. I'm sorry.
You let yourself down. All right. Thank you, guys. Much appreciated. Where can people see you? Like online presence. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We haven't been that active on Twitter. Twitter's been sort of not so much. We'll know. There'll be more stuff coming up. But yes, it's Burn the Mountain SA.
Links in the description below. And hey, it sounds like it, doesn't it? Eh? A little bit of the Red Bull's got my tongue twisted. But thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This has been On the Couch with Franz, and this week it was Burn the Mountain. We'll see you all soon. Take it easy. Keep it heavy, and remember, let metal shape you. Bye now.
Saw you standing by the telephone, and I'm wondering if you like what you see. I'm not asking if you came here all alone. I'm just asking if you like to leave with me. She said, take my hand, we'll run away. We run away. Take my hand, we'll run away.
Links in the description.
Muchas gracias.
Let's try that again. Immanuel, cut that. And here we go. So thank you for that little introduction. By the way, what is your name?
My name?
Yeah,
My
yeah.
name is Thomas.
Hello, Thomas. Thank you for introducing yourself.
I
Please
did
pass that
introduce-
mic on.
I didn't. Oh, no, do we need to start from the beginning?
No.
But we did introduce ourselves.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. You did. Sorry. All right. No. Yes. Before you're not Burn the Mountain.